good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Today, we're going to do a modification to these lovely Eachine EV800D goggles. Now, I really like these goggles. They're a really good set of budget goggles. Now, budget and good quality don't always go hand in hand, but these really are great performers. The only complaint is they're a little bit heavy on the front end, and the reason is because there's a battery inside here. On goggles like the Fat Shark and other high-end goggles, you often see the battery attached to the side straps. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm basically going to take this and we're going to relocate the battery to an outside strap. So this will mean I won't have to charge my goggles in the field. I can just swap a new battery anytime my power's getting low. So that's what we're going to do today. Well, good morning, kids. Today, we're going to modify the Eachine EV800D goggles to add an external battery. First thing I'm going to do is take the antennas off. Set those aside. Second thing I'm going to do is pop off the front section of the goggles. You just kind of push up at the bottom. That's one of the reasons I bought this pair of goggles, because it becomes a monitor and you can screw that into a tripod and, you know, have somebody watch your flights. Okay, now there are several screws that look like they're way the heck down in there. Let's take a look. I think there's only 4. Yeah, they're in there pretty deep. Let's see if I've got a screwdriver. We'll get in there. I might actually need to buy a screwdriver for this. That would be interesting. Okay, here we go. I found one. I need more screwdrivers like this. This is a hex head. Okay, there's 4 screws. Now, okay, so we'll be very careful in popping this off. There we go. And you can probably see there is the battery. It's fastened by a couple of blobs of hot glue, so we'll just I'm going to give that a gentle pry, just to kind of get the glue off there. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now I should be able to kind of pull the battery out. Also, you'll note it's the battery's connected just by this little plug here. I love this little plastic hook. It's great for doing things like disconnecting little power connectors like this, because they're kind of difficult to get your fingers into. Well, you know what? I think we're going to pull this out. It looks like everything just comes out. Let's try that. There's a circuit board and a screen. That's really all there is to it, and there's just a couple of slots there. There. Let's do that. That's a little easier. We'll take the battery out, and there's everything disassembled. Now that battery actually weighs quite a lot, so by relocating this to the side strap, the goggles are going to be much less likely to tilt on your face, which is, honestly, it's very, it's not fun. Okay, let's get this connector off. Come on. There we go. Okay, that's all there is to it. So, this is going to be a really simple mod. All I'm really doing is putting, I'm going to be putting a longer wire, obviously, and I'll be putting an XT30 connector so that it can then connect directly to any kind of LiPo battery. Okay, so anyway, we're going to cut off this end. When you do this, Don't cut across 2 power leads at a time, or you'll short this thing out and it will catch on fire. It won't be pleasant, okay? So do one lead at a time. Okay, there we go. Now, a couple of things here. Let's put the case back on. And I'm just trying to see, so the wire is essentially going to come in here. I'm going to drill a little hole there, and it's going to come out along the side, and potentially I'll mount the battery on the back there. So I'll just need to make sure I got enough wire for that. So let's do that. Do the trick. And we'll just take a correspondingly long piece of black. Just pair those out. There. Okay, there's our wire. Now, that's a little bit, you know, the conductor's a little bit thin for an XT30, but this is not a big battery, and you can see the conductor that it's already got for the connector is about the same gauge. Not sure what gauge it is, 18 maybe. Okay, so strip the wires, tin them, and we'll put this connector, well actually, what I'll do is I will drill the hole first, put the wires through, and then we'll solder the wires once I've got, well, okay. I'm just gonna set our video board aside over here. Battery over there. Let's just clear up the area while we do our soldering. These helping hands are really, it's almost something you really have to have if you're doing any kind of electrical work, but FPV work specifically, right? Heat. Go. Okay. Yeah, those look good. Now, I've been told that when you attach cable to an XT30 connector, you should have the two parts inserted into each other so that there's no chance of it warping and then not being able to plug in. So, okay, let's just double check what we need here. Here's the FPV battery. Okay, so it's this end we're going to be using, which is the female end. This is the male end. So we'll be soldering to this, but we'll put another male end in for now. Now, let's make sure we put, okay, red's on the bottom, black's on top. Red's on the bottom, all right. Yeah, I'm not sure if I actually need to tin these connectors or not, or how that works. Never done this. Well, let's find out. guessing I need to tin them, so that's what I'm going to do. Okay, that looks all right. Okay, red on the flat part, black on the rounded part. Let's double check that. Red on the flat, rounded part. Okay, just making sure. Now we're also going to put some heat shrink on this in a minute. Okay, red on the flat part. Here we go. That was surprisingly easy. Okay. Shit. Messed that up. Okie dokie.
Thinking about the way that you know me. No one ever cared like you care for me. You're such a bright star in the dark space.
Heat shrink tubing. I think we got some scraps here. Let's use those. Oops.
How did you get so fly? You got me like my. You got me like my.
Now, it's usually good practice to kind of put this stuff on your connection before you do this, just so you don't forget. So we'll heat shrink those individually, and then I'll put a larger piece on both conductors. Heat gun. Here we go. That's all we need is the heat gun on a hot day. Oops. Okay. That should do it. Doesn't take much. Okay. Slightly larger piece for the two wires, two conductors. Don't need too much. Oh shit, I already had a piece. Okay. Alright, now we'll take both the wires. There, that should do the trick. I'm actually going to re-tin these wires because I messed this one up and I really want them to be pretty much the same length. So we'll just do those again. No big deal. I'm also going to need to drill a hole in the side of the case here so that I can feed the wire through. So we'll do that as well. Alright, let's re-tin these a little. Perfect. Okay. Now what we'll do is we'll seat put our screws over here. I love these little blue mats. They're really great with all their little compartments for your screws and bits and pieces. Okay, so let's just see where this goes back in. I think the screen, let's see if I can center this for you guys. The screen goes into that slot, and the board just kind of slides in, and there's two little recesses that the board fits in. Really not much to it. Okay, so I'll probably put the hole right about there. The connector's here on the top. I'll probably drill in from the side here. All right, let's do that. Right about there. That's it. That's all there is to it. Okay, so we'll put the cables through. There we go. Make sure they're nice and it's all good, nice and neat. Now, one thing I am going to do is I'm going to tie a knot in these wires, and that is for retention, so that if the battery drops or whatever else happens, it doesn't pull on the connection and break the circuit board, right? So just a little knot like that, that's never going through there. Okay, so strain relief, I guess is what they call it. So let's do that. Okay, so now we'll put on the connector. We're gonna make sure that we've got heat shrink. Oh, I haven't tinned these, so let's tin these and then we'll put heat shrink on. And then solder them up. Okay. Let's do this. Soldering iron back on. I'll tell you what, if you're doing any kind of FPV stuff, you really have to get used to soldering. I was terrified of it at first. I really didn't like it. I'm still not crazy about it, but I can get the basics done. And I guess that's really all I need to do. And if any of you soldering pros are watching me and you've got tips, please feel free in the comments to tell me how I can improve, because I am, I realize I'm not great at this, but that's okay. Okay. Shrink tube. Let's put a couple of pieces on here. You know what we'll do? We'll put the shrink tube on like that, or comme ça, as the French say. And we'll clip it right there. Actually, I'm going to turn this around to solder. I figured this out the other day to have them join like this. It's easier for me to kind of work around in a circle here. Solder, yeah, and I know this workbench is a bit of a mess. Other people will say, oh, it's not messy. Well, for me, it's messy. All right. Here we go. One. Done. Okay. I think we're good there. We'll heat shrink this fella up. Slide that over. Okay. And these tools aren't that expensive. Things like a heat gun, these are well worth investing in, because, just being able to do this is much neater and much more secure than a, piece of electrical tape or whatnot. I mean, certainly you can do that, but I don't know. I feel better about going the extra little mile to make these things look nice. Okay. So that's it. Now, let's put this sucker back together. And then we'll throw the battery in and see if it actually still works. See if I didn't break something. This is also a good opportunity to clean your screen if you happen to have accidentally put thumbprints on it, as I did. Okay. Looking good. Looking good. Okay, we'll plug this power connector in. I probably made that strain relief a little too long, but that's okay. Better than too short. Okay, that's in. Now, is this going to rattle around? I kind of wonder about that because the battery may have been providing a bit of pressure there. Let's see. Let me put this back on. It's a tiny, I think maybe it's a tiny bit rattly. It's not too bad. Not too bad. Okay, anyway. Well, just for kicks, where's that other battery? So we need an XT30 on this too. Shit, I forgot about that. Okay. All right. Yeah, it's not perfect. Not perfect. Let's just make sure. Red on the bottom, black on the top. Looks good. Okay. Now, let's see if this thing powers on, guys. Okay, we've got an XT30 connector. Should I do a drum roll? Is it going to blow up in my face? I sure hope not. Sure hope not. Okay. I don't know what the buttons are. Here, let's see. Off the top of my head. Okay, power. Well, holy shit biscuits. Look at that, guys. Of course, we have no signal because we've got nothing transmitting here at the moment, but there you go. That's how to do the mod, guys. Very simple. The rest is just, attaching it to the back of the back of the strap. So, you guys can figure out how to make a nice little pouch for it to put it back here. But basically, that's all it is. That's all there is to it as far as the electronics go. Anyway, guys, I hope you found that useful. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And stay tuned. We'll see you in the next video.